In a small village cradled by green hills and kissed by the morning mist, lived a simple farmer named Ramu. He had weathered skin, sunburnt shoulders, and hands rough from tilling the soil. But in his eyes lived quiet strength. And in his heart, one dream, a better life for his only son, Aarav. Their home was modest, mud walls, a thatched roof, and just enough to get by. Yet every evening when the sky turned orange and gold, Ramu returned from the fields, tired, aching. But the sight of little Aarav, waiting at the gate with his school bag and a smile, wiped away every trace of fatigue. "Papa," Aarav would call out, running into his arms, and Ramu, setting aside his hoe, would smile and say, "How was school, beta?" Aarav would chatter endlessly about lessons, stories, questions, and Ramu, though he had never gone to school, would listen like every word was gold. Shift tonight, wind picks up. But one night, the skies turned angry. A storm rolled over the hills. Howling winds shook their home, and in an instant, the power was gone. Inside, Aarav sat by a flickering candle, hunched over his book. He squinted at the fading words, lips moving as he tried to read. "Papa," he whispered, voice trembling, "how will I ever become a doctor if I can't even see my homework?" Ramu looked at him, and in that moment, something stirred deep inside. He went to the old storeroom, and from beneath sacks of grain and tools long forgotten, he pulled out an old, dented kerosene lantern. He lit it. The room glowed in amber light. He knelt beside his son, hand on his shoulder, and said, "Beta, education is like this lantern. Even in the darkest night, if you carry your light with you, you'll always find your way." From that night onward, it became a ritual. Every evening, under the golden light of the lantern, Ramu sat with Aarav. He couldn't read the words on the page, but he listened. He asked questions. He nodded proudly when Aarav explained things. He didn't fully understand. He believed. One day, Aarav hesitated. "Papa, kids at school, they laugh at my old clothes. They say I won't make it." Ramu looked him in the eye. "Beta, remember, a tree is strongest where its roots run deep. Your roots are strong. Don't ever be ashamed of where you come from. Be proud. Be brave." Years passed. While other boys played cricket and flew kites, Aarav studied under that same lantern. And then, one day, a letter arrived. A government scholarship. Admission to the city's best medical college. Ramu held the letter in shaking hands. Tears welled up as he read the words again and again, though he needed Aarav to explain most of them. But what he understood was that his boy's journey had just begun. In the city, Aarav struggled at first. New faces, unfamiliar places, and a world that moved so fast. But every night he'd look at the lantern he had packed with him. A piece of Ombi, and hear his father's voice. "Carry your light, Beta, always." Years later, at his graduation, reporters crowded around. Flashes of cameras, microphones. "Dr. Aarav, you topped the district. What's your secret?" He smiled, a quiet, full smile. "A lantern, and a father who lit it every night so that my dreams would never see darkness." Aarav returned to the village, not just as a doctor, but as a beacon of hope. He brought electricity to homes. He built a small clinic. He offered free checkups to the elderly, taught children hygiene, vaccinated newborns. But on his desk, in the heart of the clinic, sat one thing that never changed. That old lantern, a symbol of love, of sacrifice, and of a father's unshakable belief in his child. And now, when Aarav's own son asks him, "Papa, how did you become a doctor?" he smiles and turns on the old lantern. Because, Beta, sometimes all it takes to change a life is one small light and someone who believes in you. Thank you for watching. Give like, share, and please subscribe this channel.